Hello angels, and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are back with another video, if you couldn't tell by the title. So today's is another book video, if you also couldn't tell from where I'm standing right now. Today's book video is called the Harry Potter Spells book tag, which is currently on As Easy with Books online. Also excuse this makeup look. I just filmed my New Year's glam look, so this is where we're at. I also don't have long to film this because I have something else to film before in like the next hour, because then I have a presentation that I have to do online, and then I have a one-to-one with my lecturer. It's also very busy, but it's also the last week of term before I go home for Christmas, so yeah. I'm gonna stop playing with my hair. It's very annoying. The curls aren't that great. The only reason I curled it is because I need it curled for tomorrow, but I don't want to curl it in the morning, so that's, you know, that. So yeah, today we're doing the Harry Potter Spells book tag. I haven't actually looked at any of these questions or things, so this is going to be interesting. Once again, ignore this hole in my bookshelf, but because I need to get on with this video, we're going to jump straight in. So that took a while. I also have so many book TikToks to film. I've got like 100 to film tonight, and I also need to pack to go home as well. So that's all fun, but let's get on with today's videos. So, Accio, an upcoming release you wish you could get your hands on right now. I know the perfect answer for this. So this is, the one I really want is With This Kiss by Carrie Hope Fletcher, which is coming out in April. It was supposed to be about the end of this year, I think. It was supposed to come out this year at some point, or beginning of next year, but now it's in, yeah, it's supposed to be out in August, and now it's coming out in April, a year later. So here we are. But this is, I really want this book. I'm also getting it signed with sprayed edges. I mean, can you believe it? I cannot wait for this book, and if I could have it now, I would. So the next one we have is Alamora, your favourite series starter. So there's a fair few, but we're gonna go with Crave by Tracy Wolff, because I absolutely love this. Well, I've only read the first two in the series. I haven't read the other ones. I think there's one out at the moment, and then the other one's about to be released, and the fifth one's next year. I'm not really sure, but I need to read the third one. I love the first and the second one, so this is definitely one of my favourite series starters. I don't own many series actually, now that I think about it. So, The Cheering Charm, a book that gave you all the warm fuzzies. So for this, I think I'm gonna go with When the Curtain Falls by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I mean, any of Carrie's books give me this warm fuzzies feeling, but the reason I've chosen When the Curtain Falls is because it like puts together two of like my favourite things. So you've got theatre and books. My two of my three favourite things. Yeah, so I absolutely love this book. It's just because I love theatre and I love reading, it just kind of puts them together, and it's just, yeah. Argumenty, a book that made you ugly cry. So I feel like I'm gonna go with two for this. I know I'm supposed to pick one, but I've gone with two. So the first one is Walking on Sunshine by Joanne Fletcher. The reason this makes me cry is just because it's such a true and honest story. There's a bit in it, there's a few bits in it that just make me ugly cry because of how like real it feels, if that makes a lot of sense. And then we have In the Time We Lost by Carrie Hope Fletcher. Is this a book tag, or is this just me telling you to read Carrie's books? I don't know, but this made me ugly cry at the end. The ending just had me like genuinely sobbing, and I've met someone else on my book TikTok who says that this book also makes her sob at the end, so yeah. The next one we have is Expecto Patronum, a bookish hero or heroine you want around to protect you in real life. I'm gonna go with Crave again, from by Tracy Wolff, because I love the hero in this. Well, he's not, I don't really say he's a hero. I mean, Jackson in this story, I just want him, towards the end he seems to get like more soft, if you know what I mean, and I just kind of want him with me, you know. I feel like he'd be great. And yeah, Jackson from here. That is who I would want around. I wouldn't necessarily say my hero, maybe. I don't really know. The next one is Lumos, a book you intentionally spoiled for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna go with Crush by Tracy Wolf, which is the second one from the one I just mentioned. I've chosen this. I didn't like Google it before I even started reading it, but I was reading it and I just had to know something of the story. I don't usually Google things, so I Googled one part of the book and then it spoiled the other part of the book. So I can't remember what I Googled, but I had to know something, and when I was reading, if I was right about this thing that I needed to know, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it, it just spoiled something else. It wasn't intentionally spoiling all of it for me, but it ended up doing that. So if you're reading the book, don't ask Google a simple question about that book, because it will just tell you everything about it. Get it? Cool. So the next one, Imperio, a book you wish you could make everyone read because you loved it so much. Okay, we've got two options for this one. So we're either going to go with all of Carrie's books. I think everyone needs to read this, and Giovanna's Walking on Sunshine one. But because I always talk about those, we're going to go with something else. We're gonna go with The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love this book. I don't think I need to tell you why if you've read it, but I feel like everyone just needs to read this. Was the writing really that small? Yeah, you just need to, I feel like everyone should read that, and Carrie's and Giovanna's. Our style of this video is just like trying to get you to read Carrie's books, but they're so good, so what can I say, you know? Next we have Ingorio, a book or series you wish never ended. Okay, so we've got two options for this. So we've got Harry Potter. My camera's on that, so I can't show you, but I've got Harry Potter. The reason I wish it never ended is because I feel like I just want to know more. I need to know all about it. I need to, like, I wish there was just more to Harry Potter than the 7 books it already is. And then I'm also going to go with Walking on Sunshine again by Giovanna Fletcher. I got to the epilogue of this book and I just genuinely didn't want it to end. I wanted it to carry on. And I still want to know more of the story behind these 3 friends. I genuinely wish this never ended because it was so good and I just had to know more. The next one is Wingardium Leviosa, a book with an uplifting ending or message. You're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna go with this book again because I feel like this just has, like, the message behind it is kind of what I got from it. It's just kind of like live your life and not worry about everything else that's going on. In this book, they have a friend that passes away and they kind of go on this adventure. They kind of feel closer to her. I feel like everyone should just, like, kind of live their life, go with it. It just, life carries on. You just need to enjoy it. That's what I got from this book anyway. So, so the next one we have is Obliviate, a book you wish you could forget you ever read. So I've got 2 options for this. So we have Harry Potter the series again. The reason I wish I could forget that I ever read this is so that I could read it again for the first time. I'd love to be able to read Harry Potter again for the first time. I've read them so many times and I obviously just can never forget the story, to know what it's like to read for the first time. Maybe in the future when I have kids I'll know what that's like, but that. And there's another one, but for a completely different reason than I want to read it again for the first time. I have The Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I wish I could forget that I read this and just never see it again and just throw it away, you know what I mean? The story was there, like, the story was good, it was all good, but the writing and the way that they've done it is just, I mean, the idea of the story I liked, but the rest of it, I mean, I did read all 3 of them, but they just weren't that great. Anna Pineo? Definitely said that wrong. An author whose books always get you out of a slump. Carrie Hope Fletcher's books. No, but genuinely being serious, these books genuinely do get me out of a reading slump. Every time that I've had to read one of these, every time that she's released a new book and I've gotten it to read it, it genuinely just gets me out of a slump no matter what I'm in. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that, to be honest. Carrie's books just always get me out of a slump. There's just something, they're very, I'd call them like magical realism. That's what they are. They're kind of like written for adults, I think, and they've just got edge of magic to, and they're just so great that they just get me out of whatever reading slump that I'm in. The next one we have is The Jelly Legs Jinx, a swoon-worthy hero or heroine. So I'm gonna go with, if I can reach it, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Atlas in this has my heart. He's so cute. I love him at the beginning, and then obviously when he comes back into Lily's life later on. Yeah, I just love Atlas. He's, I mean, what a name too. I just think so sweet and everything, really. The next one we have is Arresto Momentum, a book that caused you to stop doing all other things until you finished it. We're gonna go with this, which is The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting by Ivana Lynch. Oh, I said her name wrong. This is a non-fiction book about her life with her eating disorder, basically. And I genuinely stopped doing everything while I was reading this. There's nothing, like, it really like engrossed me so much. I think maybe because I've struggled with an eating disorder myself, and I really just wanted to read this, but it was the way it's written, it's just so, it's obviously so personal, but yeah, I put everything off to read this. I just ignored all my other problems that I had to do and just read it. The next one we have is Crucio, a book that was painful to read for whatever reason or broke you. And then also on that one we have The Magpie Society 2 for Joy by Zoe Sugg and Amy McCulloch. I read this recently and I genuinely just did not do anything else until I read this. While I was reading it, it was just nothing else was on my mind. This is what I was reading and that's what I was doing. Is Crucio, a book that was painful to read for whatever reason or broke you. So I'm gonna go back to The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting, because this was very painful to read because I have struggled with an eating disorder. It was hard to, obviously I'm kind of recovered from it now, but it was really hard to read and know her thoughts at that time in her life because they were thoughts that I dealt with as well. It was very, very hard and painful to read. So I say if you're going to read this book, look up trigger warnings and be careful if you have struggled with an eating disorder or if you are. That makes sense. The next one we have is Rictum Sempra, can't say that, a book that had you laughing out loud. I don't have any books that make me laugh. I realised this in another book tag I did, but we're gonna go with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This doesn't make me like laugh that much, but there's scenes in here that make me laugh, or just words or sentences that they say to each other that kind of just make me laugh. But other than that, I really just don't have any that make me laugh. Expelliarmus, a book that made you want to send it flying. I've got two for this, okay? So we've got one that I mentioned earlier that I did not like, which is The Daughter of Smoke and Bone. It's not it, don't like it. Wish I could send this flying. It's not good. As the series goes on, it gets worse. Just so you know. I mean, it may be for you, but it's not for me. And then we also have The Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. The story is so great. Like, I love the idea behind the story, but the way it's executed and written, maybe I'll try and read it another time and hope my opinion changes, but probably not. So next one we have Portus, a bookish world you wish you could visit. I mean, if you don't say Hogwarts, who are you? I'd love to go into the Harry Potter world. I'd love the magical world. I'd love to go to Hogwarts. I'd happily do 7 more years of school, even though I'm about to graduate university. I'd happily do 7 more years. Don't know about you, but next one we have is Stupefy, a book with a shocking twist or ending. I'm gonna go with this book again, which is 2 for Joy, because the ending of this book I did not expect at all. When it came to it, I was like, hello, who are you? What is happening? Where am I? I was just really confused in like kind of a good way, and they better do a 3rd book of this, otherwise I will cry. I need to know what happens next, you know. Avada Kedavra, a character death that destroyed you. So I've got some options for this. So one I'm going to go with, it was from Harry Potter and Hedwig and Dobby. Dobby is like my favourite character ever. So when he died and when Hedwig died, broke me, destroyed me, absolutely gone. And the next one we have is We Were Liars. So when someone dies in this, I'm not going to give too much away and I'm not getting the book off my shelf, but in We Were Liars, that destroyed me too, and all the situation around that. So the last one we have is Finite Incantatum, the best series conclusion. I don't know, I don't read many series, so this is kind of hard. So I'm going to go with Harry Potter. I love the way it ended. I feel like it kind of just sends his kids off to school. It's great. But I'm also going to go with As Good as Dead, which is from the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I can't wait to get it off my shelf right now, but that book, I feel like that it just ends great. The series, it just ends it really good. I do want to know more of the story. Like, I really just want to like wish there was more to it, but I do like the way that it ended. I mean, maybe I didn't if I'm saying that I want it more. I don't really know. Okay, so that was the last question. So this is the Harry Potter spells book tag. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe down below because I would love to have you around. On Wednesdays, I do book videos. On Fridays, I do glam makeup tutorials. And on Sundays, I do creative crazy makeup if you're interested in any of those. So thanks again for watching, all my love angels. Bye.